We often hear that human development harms nature, but what if the story is actually more complex? Pollinators are essential for life as we know it. As human activities reshape landscapes, especially during the Anthropocene era, how do these tiny but mighty creatures respond?
A recent study has some surprising answers that some pollinators are actually handling changes better than others.
Before we dive in, let's clarify a few key terms. The Anthropocene is a term used to describe the current geological age, viewed as the period during which human activity has been the dominant influence on climate and the environment. So in this context, human-driven changes are reshaping landscape and affecting pollinators. Animal-mediated pollination refers to the process by which animals, with well-known examples being bees, help transfer pollen between flowers, which is essential for plant reproduction. Some examples of crops that rely heavily on animal-mediated pollination include watermelon and kiwi. The research paper published in August 2024 titled Important Crop Pollinators Respond Less Negatively to Anthropogenic Land Use Than Other Animals explore how different groups of terrestrial species, each playing distinct roles in crop pollination, respond to various land use types, intensity, and the presence of natural habitats in the surrounding landscape. While previous studies in the field have provided valuable insights into how changing land use impacts pollinators, many overlook the varying levels of contributions to pollinations by different species. In this study, data from the PREDICT project was analyzed, focusing on over 10,000 species assemblages over diverse landscapes.
Study sites were categorized into 6 land use types:
Primary vegetation, secondary vegetation, plantation forest, cropland, pasture, and urban areas. The surrounding landscape composition, including the percentage of semi-natural habitat, was also assessed. A novel species level ecosystem service contribution matrix was developed. Here, the matrix integrates two key factors: importance, which is the species' role in providing pollination services for crops, and certainty, how strong the scientific evidence is supporting its role. This provides a structured way to better understand how species with different pollination roles respond to land use changes. On top of that, statistical models were used to analyze species richness and total abundance, ensuring reliable results. From the study, species richness and total abundance varied based on different land use types, intensity, and surrounding habitats. In human-modified environments like croplands, pastures, and urban areas, pollinators with low or medium contributions to pollination generally decline, while high contribution pollinators thrive.
Surprisingly, the only exception is that in croplands, high contribution pollinators were actually more abundant in areas with less semi-natural habitat. These may be due to the quality of the semi-natural habitats being favorable to the pollinator population specifically.
Most importantly, the key takeaway is that some pollinators, particularly those important for crop pollination, were more adaptable to human-modified environments. They sometimes even benefit from human-altered landscape. These suggest that not all human development is entirely bad for pollinators. The major limitation of the research is that species importance to pollination can vary, depending on the location and environmental shifts. However, this study could not account for these dynamics due to limited data. Some other factors, such as potential time lag effect in the responses in species richness and abundance, and interactions between species, are also not taken into account in this study. Future studies should follow up on all of these with more data to add complexity to the model in order to better reflect the potential dynamics in the real world. So all of these lead to the main question: why do we care? Well, the exact mechanism behind this pattern around pollinators remains unclear. These findings highlight the potential resilience of crop pollination as ecological assemblage shift due to anthropogenic land use changes. In fact, animal pollination is not just important for plant dispersal, it also underpins human well-being and the perspective of supporting crop production. Over three-quarters of human food crop species rely on animal-mediated pollination, which is valued to be from 235 billion to 577 billion in US dollars back in 2015 in the global economy. An estimate of 5 to 8% of global crop production would be lost without animal pollinators, leading to dietary shifts and transformation of higher land demands for agriculture globally. This means that understanding how pollinators respond to anthropogenic land use changes help us predict impacts on crop production. This allows us to take action to sustain crop use, benefiting both humans and nature before it's too late. Last but not least, here are the references.